Great. Thanks so much, Kamiley. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come listen. We are so excited to share today about the Nerve2 activation for horses. It's such an exciting technology, and I'm so thrilled that Dr. Alice is here to share with us. First of all, my name is Christy, and my story started about 5 years ago when my pony Nissa was dealing with chronic laminitis. Thank you, Alice. She's going to put up the slide for me. There's a little picture of Nissa. Anyway, he was chronically laminitic, and I don't know if you've ever dealt with laminitis. It's an insidious issue. It's a metabolic problem, but comes up as really painful, and if he was having so much trouble walking, he didn't want to walk. He would stand there and rock back on his back legs to take the weight off of his front legs, and it was horrible to watch. And I did everything that I knew to do to stop it. I reduced the sugar in his diet. He was actually losing weight, but it was still painful. And so I called Dr. Beretta out for routine vaccinations. And then when she was out, I said, what can I do about Nissa? He is in so much pain and I don't know what else to do. And she said, well, there's this human supplement that I use in horses a lot, and there are peer-reviewed studies behind it. Now, I'm a scientist, so when she said peer-reviewed studies, I was like, what? What'd you say? And so she shared those with me, and I dove into them, and I put him on it as soon as I could. And this is just showing his progression from having very dish-shaped feet with you can see the laminitic rings in the middle of his hoof. To July, he had grown a whole new hoof. That's unheard of. I started him in February, by the way. So it was just 5 months of activation. It was only 2 months in that he was trotting comfortably, cantering in the paddock, which he hadn't done in forever. And I'm just thrilled. And he's been symptom-free now for 5.5 years, almost 5.5 years. So I'm so passionate about sharing this with other horse people. It's so important to know about. It's so important to share about. So I'd like to introduce our wonderful veterinarian, Alice Beretta. She graduated in 2002 from UGA, that's University of Georgia at Athens, with her DVM. And she's just the most amazing human being. You guys, she has a heart of gold, not just for horses, but for humans also. And she's a dear friend of mine now. So Alice, thank you so much for sharing, and take it away.
Hi, thank you, Christy, for that wonderful introduction. Can everybody hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up. Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for jumping on. This is great information that I am just very passionate about sharing. And honestly, when I found out about it, when it came to me, the first thing I thought of was, why didn't I already know this? And I just right away saw the potential to be able to help my patients. I realized very quickly that this was something that I needed to be doing, that I needed to share with others. And it's just wonderful information. I'm so glad you guys are here to hear this. And, thank the person who invited you, because I truly wish that I had, learned about it sooner. So this is my family, and I think my smallest patient, one of these like little tiny dwarf miniature horses. I usually don't work on those, but Christy caught me one day holding this little one that was very angry with me, and I tried to spend some time with her because she doesn't like needles. So, but after 20 years in practice, you really start to look at medicine in a different way. You know, you've hit enough roadblocks that your mind is open to some alternative ways of supporting the body so that you can prevent that slippery slope of disease, because horses are fragile creatures and they are perfectly healthy until they are not. And then it really is kind of a downward spiral. So really what is kind of at the root cause of cellular disease and that cellular health is something called oxidative stress. And most people know what stress is, and we all, understand that our young athletes are under stress from travel and work and, change of environment. But it's more than that. Oxidative stress is at the cellular level, and it is actually caused by free radical damage. And free radicals are really a byproduct of our metabolism, not just horses, but humans, dogs, cats. If you breathe oxygen, the byproduct of that is these free radicals, but an overwhelming amount of free radicals is called oxidative stress. And that is what, damages your cells and affect your overall health. So, you look at your older pasture ornament and, we don't really feel like they have a stressful lifestyle. But as they age and they get older, their ability to reduce this oxidative stress is depleted the older they get. And we don't really think about the toxins in our horses' environments, but we spray our pastures, we spray our horses with fly repellents, all of those things. And sometimes their nutrition, their food is, often processed and heated and, put into a pelleted form. So, there are a lot of different things that contribute to oxidative stress, even when we're not, thinking about it. So oxidative stress, a great visual is when you cut an apple in half and you watch it turn brown. That's what oxygen does. It actually causes kind of that browning or that rusting. And this is a number for humans, but if you look on there at the top of the slide, you see that gigantic number, 300 sextillion free radicals is what the body makes in a day. And our bodies have to reduce those free radicals in order to stay healthy and prevent the cellular damage. So how does oxidative stress affect your horse on a daily basis? Well, some of the things that, associated with oxidative stress that I see every day are metabolic diseases like equine Cushing's, metabolic syndrome, horses with those crusty necks, inflammatory airway diseases like equine asthma, or we used to call it HEAVES, eye diseases like uveitis, anything autoimmune where the body is overreacting. Osteoarthritis, that is definitely a big one. We really want our horses to stay as healthy as possible for as long as possible. We want them to have a great relationship doing what they love with the humans that they love. So, you don't want tendon injuries or arthritis or things like that to end their career early. Any exercise related fatigue and injury, and sarcoids. I see a lot of, different types of tumors, melanomas, sarcoids, all of those are from oxidative stress. And oxidative stress can also come from, any type of repeated insult like UV radiation. So you have to be especially careful with those horses with pink skin, around their eyes and on their faces. So the big question is, how do we fight this oxidative stress? How can we help ourselves, our patients, our animals that we love fight this free radical damage? And, what we've always known is that antioxidants are good for us. We've known since the 70s that there are free radicals and that we need to reduce them in order to stay healthy. So we all know, vitamin C, vitamin E, omegas, flavonoids, a lot of those in our horse supplements. People spend so much money on horse supplements, and they always bring me their tubs out of their tack room. And they're like, should I be giving my horse this? Is this better than that? And a lot of times they're overdosing, or they're giving them things that, supplementing them with something that they don't actually need. So those direct antioxidants work at a 1-to-1 ratio. One molecule of antioxidant is reducing one free radical, that 1-to-1. So it helps a little, but remember that gigantic number, that 300 sextillion, it's not enough. So it's similar to throwing a Dixie cup of water to a huge house fire. Yeah, the water helps a little, but is it really reducing that house fire? It's not enough. So that's where those indirect antioxidants come in. And those are so important because those are the antioxidant molecules that are very powerful that our body makes or that your horse's body makes. And those are, for some examples, are SOD, catalase, glutathione, if you've ever heard of those. But those antioxidant molecules work much more efficiently, and they work 1,000,000 to 1 per second. So they are really just removing all of those free radicals in a much more efficient way, like your water hose, or not your water hose, but your fire hose on a house fire, instead of just a Dixie cup of water. So how do we increase those antioxidant enzymes? How do we activate the body to make more? Because we know that taking antioxidants really doesn't make a big difference. And that's where NRF2 or NRF2 activation comes in. And that is the information that we love to share. So the theme here is to not take more antioxidants, but help the body make more antioxidants. And that's where Protandim Nerf2 comes in. So Protandim Nerf2 is a Nerf2 activator. And what it is it's an herbal blend. It's a patented supplement that is actually for people, but they have a canine version called Pet Tandem. And I use the human version in horses just because it's more cost efficient that way. And the horses don't really like the flavoring that's in there for the dogs. So the human supplement actually works really well on horses. What's really cool is that a lot of horses do great on just 1 or 2 tablets. Horses like things differently. Sometimes you can give them very small doses and get a powerful result. So what I love about Protandim is the peer-reviewed studies, all the research behind it. As a veterinarian, I love testimonials. The stories really it can be incredible, but to have that science to back it up is amazing, because we don't see that much in the supplement industry, especially when it's on a patented branded supplement. So the studies that you're going to see, you can look on pubmed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health website. That's where all doctors and researchers publish their research and do their research. But if you look up Protandim, you will see all of the peer-reviewed studies. I think we're up to 31 peer-reviewed studies, which is unheard of. Usually I have to take a picture of all the ingredients on the products, take them home, do research on the individual ingredients, and then maybe extrapolate that possibly it's going to help this patient. This has the studies behind it. I know it's going to help them, and then I get to see it in real life on a daily basis. So it is something that I really love to share with people, because people are looking for things that they can do to help their horses so that they don't fall down that slippery slope of disease. People want to know, what can I do to keep my horse as healthy as possible for as long as possible? So you're wondering what's in it. Here are the ingredients. Some of them you may have heard of. These are herbs that have been used in Eastern medicine for thousands and thousands of years. But what I love about this is the blend, the synergy of these herbs. There's actually a study showing the synergy of the herbs is what causes that really powerful NRF2 activation. And it is why it works the way that it does. But the ingredients are milk thistle, bacopa, ashwagandha, green tea, and turmeric. And again, those are all great herbs, but the magic is really in the synergy of the formula. And because of that synergy is why different universities and medical schools started doing research on Protandim, and it is the reason why we have all those peer-reviewed studies. And I love this slide. This is just a great visual on how this works at a cellular level. I'm a very visual person, and Nerf2 sounds like a gun. It sounds like a toy, those little bullets that get scattered all around your house if you have boys like I do. But Nerf2 is actually a messenger protein. And when it is activated, it actually gets released by another protein that's holding on to it, enters the nucleus of the cell, binds the DNA, and just turns on, literally flips the switch on what they call the survival genes. And those are the production of your anti-inflammatory proteins, the production of your antioxidant enzymes, and also some anti-fibrotic or decreased scar tissue signals. So I don't know about you guys, but every horse that I have ever met could use more survival because they are very much prone to getting injured or getting, having something go wrong with them. So anything that can help with their survival is a plus and is helpful in my practice. So this is a great quote, one of my favorite studies. If you're at all inclined to look at the science, this was published by Washington State University, and I really think it drives home the reason why we're all here and why we love to share this information. But it states that Nerf2 may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and preventative breakthrough in the history of medicine. This is a great paper that just talks about Nerf2. It actually discusses protandem, and all of the diseases that can be prevented and treated by Nerf2 activation. So this is an amazing paper that is just incredible validation, and it really just gives you the perspective on what you can do and how many people and horses you can help by sharing this information. It's another great paper on just oxidative stress and equine medicine. And the goal here is really to maintain that balance of having enough antioxidants to reduce the free radicals or the reactive oxygen species, so that you can improve the health of the horse at a cellular level. So the things that we see when you can decrease inflammation and decrease oxidative stress, the benefits are going to include, better skin coat and increase energy and endurance, a healthier immune system, better joint health and mobility, reduced joint pain and inflammation, stronger resistance to allergies. We see a lot of trouble with, insects, hypersensitivities, and, different types of allergies in horses. One of the big ones is equine asthma that I think is really restricts their longevity and their quality of life. Better tooth and gum health, better cardiovascular health, and increased mental function and alertness, especially in those old guys. So anything age related, you really want to be able to decrease oxidative stress and at a cellular level, turn back time. So I also wanted to mention briefly, I know this is kind of an equine focused PowerPoint, but we can't forget about, man's best friend. All horse people also have a dog. I don't think I've ever met a horse person that did not have a dog. And so, you really want to reduce their levels of oxidative stress. Dogs age faster than we do and therefore have higher levels of oxidative stress than we do. And that's the concept of aging. So being able to maintain them and keep them as healthy as possible is really important to us horse people also. So I have a few testimonials that we would like to share. And Jenny Field is on this call, so I'm going to pass it on to her. Jenny Field is an amazing mom and just incredible horse owner. I have so much respect for her. She dug deep to find something to help her horse, and Nerf2 was the answer for her. And she has an incredible story with her horse Lily. So Jenny, if you're on the call, we would love to hear from you.
I am here. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Perfect.
You're great.
Awesome. Well, if there is a little bit of background noise, I'm really sorry. I'm actually sitting in my truck. My daughter has barrel practice right now as we speak. So, I guess that's the beauty of this, is we can do this business anywhere, and I can come talk to you from anywhere that I'm at. But if you hear some trucks or trailers or horses in the background, excuse me. But Alice, thank you for the introduction. Again, my name is Jenny Field, and I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how I became involved with this company, and how I was introduced to Protandim Nerf2. And it really was strictly through our horse. This horse right here that's on the screen, her name is Lily, and she's my daughter's barrel horse. And if you own horses, or if you own barrel racing horses, you know that One, they are a lot of a time, they are a lot of money, and we have to put a lot into them to keep their performance going. And we put a lot on them and we ask a lot of them. So um, when she got hurt a few years ago, I went searching. And so a little bit about her story is when Lily was only 4 years old, she got a deep flexor tendon strain in her back hind foot. And that put pressure onto her navicular bone. And that is the bone that's capsulized inside of the hoof that really, I mean, it's a crucial bone for the horse, their weight bearing, and a lot can happen inside of that bone. So when that deep flexor tendon strain put so much pressure on that bone, it actually weakened it and it just fractured it right in half. I mean, it was crazy, but she went lame, I mean, instantly. And we were so worried that we were going to have to retire this horse at 4 years old. Long story short, we took the horse to a couple different vets. We got several opinions on what we should do. And the best, vet that we took her to, he said, give her time, let her rest and rehab her. But this is going to be a year-long process. And we just said, okay, we're going to do it. And we did that. We did it to the T. We followed his instructions, everything. And we went back a year later and he evaluated her and he said, she's good to go. You can get her back into training for barrel racing. And I was like, okay, this is awesome, but I am so scared. Like, what can I give her to help her on the inside? Like, how can I help this horse and support her so that this doesn't happen again? And I went searching. And a friend of mine that I went to high school with was sharing about Protandim Nerve 2 and how she was giving it to her horses. And they were laminitic and some navicular disease. And so I just said, tell me more. And so she shared with me those studies that Dr. Beretta shared with you guys. And I dug deep into those as well. And I was just like, let's do it. And so I initially put Lily on Protandim thinking it was a horse supplement, not even really even knowing that it was, a human, it was for humans. And it wasn't till, I really took a deeper look into it that I realized that, it was for humans and that horses can just use it. All mammals can use it. But it was incredible. We were able to start Lily in January of 2018 on Protandim. And by the end of February, my daughter started high school rodeoing on her again and running barrels. And the first picture that is here on the left-hand side, that really was, Lily was activated for about 3 months and she was running barrels again. Fast forward now, it's been over 2 years that Lily has been on Protandim and my daughter is just killing it. We are rodeoing every other weekend right now. It is just crazy, but Lily has not once come up lame. She has not showed any signs of anything in that foot or in that deep flexor tendon. And I just have to say that it's all because she's activated. We do activate her on rodeo weekends. We double the dose because we know that one, traveling puts more oxidative stress into her body. And then two, the competition puts tremendous amount more of oxidative stress inside of her body. So just out of precaution, we love to double that dose up on her for a couple days so that I know that she's protected. But we just have had amazing success, amazing results, not only just with this horse, but we have another horse that is on it. And I have a lot of our rodeo friends, their horses are all activated as well. So we have tons of stories, tons of testimonials, but this is just one that I think really hits home, obviously, for me, just to see where she's come from in the last couple of years. And it truly was really what made me take a deeper look into the company and the business, and just wanting to be able to share it with people. And obviously, I have some amazing testimonials of myself just being activated as a human being as well. So that's just a little bit about our story, Alice. I just want to thank you for allowing me to come on and share. And I think I'm just going to be the one to wrap up today's call. If you were invited to this call, if you have questions, please reach out to the person that invited you to the call. They are happy to answer those questions. And I know that Dr. Alice Beretta is available and is happy to reach out and talk to you as well. So she's awesome. I always call her like I've got a friend that needs, advice on this, and she's on the phone sharing with my friends and my customers as well. So I just want to thank you guys for being a part of this call, and I think that's about it, unless Alice has something else she wants to share. But thank you guys so much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful day.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much for sharing that story. That really was a career-ending injury, and you guys did everything you could to support her. And it warms my heart, because when you have a young horse like that, it's heartbreaking when they hit an end of the road. And I want to thank you for taking the time and putting in the effort and finding an answer for her. So thank you so much, everyone, for jumping on and for listening to our stories.